Last year, I made the Olympic mascots tier list, and people seemed to like it. Now, in the time since, I've taken a few classes on graphic design. I've learned just some of the basics of what make design good. So, because of that, and because of the upcoming 2024 Olympics in Paris, I decided let's run it back. It's time for the Olympic Emblems tier list. Now, we're not going to go too crazy here. We're just going to do the Summer Olympics this time, though if this video does well, maybe I'll do the Winter Olympics or the Paralympics or something like that. But for now, we're just going to kick things off with Paris 1924. Now, the first few Olympics didn't have an official emblem. They just had some, honestly, pretty awesome posters advertising the games, as did Paris. And it didn't really have an official emblem either. It's just like the Paris coat of arms, designed to look like a woodblock print, I guess. This emblem, it certainly exists, doesn't it? I don't think it's a particularly strong emblem. I mean, we got text right across the emblem, and it's all in one color, so the text gets kind of hard to read. Also, the emblem is just a little too busy for my liking. It's not quite the clean, simple design that I'm really looking for in an emblem. I'll put it in D. This is definitely the first Olympic emblem. Los Angeles 1932. Skipping ahead a few more years, we've got this pretty aggressively American emblem here, though not the most aggressively American emblem we will see today. So we've got the laurel branch, the Olympic rings, the Citius, Fortius, Altius, faster, higher, stronger, and the big American crest coat of arms in the background. Does America have a coat of arms? The rings are kind of oddly wide splayed like they are in several early Olympic emblems. This is more or less to my expectations. It's pretty aggressively American. Not super inventive or mind-shattering or anything like that. I think I like it a little bit more than Paris 1924, but for the most part, I'm still not feeling super strong about it. I will put it C tier. Berlin 1936. So, a lot to unpack here. The 1936 Olympics are not particularly fondly remembered for a number of reasons, really. And there's definitely some strong symbolism in this emblem. We've got the German eagle clutching the, again, oddly wide splayed rings. Along the bottom of the bell, we have this text that reads, "I call the youth of the world." I'm not super fond of text on an emblem itself. It just makes things a little busy looking, although it's in this kind of like cool gothic font that does make me think of like old medieval kind of Germany or German tradition. Like, on one hand, I mean, I think this is kind of a better emblem for the games. I mean, aside from the text scrawled across the bottom of the bell, I feel like it's a lot less busy than the previous designs, but it's also just it's not great. Like, who am I kidding? It's not great. There's a little too much to unpack here in terms of like what was going on at the time, the aggressive foreign policy that Germany was beginning to pursue at that moment. This is also going in D tier. This is just, it's not particularly great. London 1948. So after a brief hiatus for some reason, the games returned in 1948, and this emblem also exists. It's pretty similar to that 1924 Paris coat of arms. I mean, it's got the very similar looking art style, kind of designed to look like a woodblock print. Another fun little detail is the hands on the clock point to 4 o'clock, which is when the opening ceremony began. So that's kind of neat. Aside from that, this emblem kind of sucks. I mean, it's just not great though, is it? Like, they took a wood block print of Elizabeth Tower, and that's it. They put some text and the rings on it. It's like they didn't really try. I kind of like it. I kind of like the design. I think it's slightly better than some of this other stuff. So I'll put it in C tier with the American emblem. But I still don't think this is this is all that great. It's not that good. Helsinki 1952. Okay, this is good. This is better. We're starting to get some more modern design. We're starting to get some color, thank God. All right, so the emblem features a tower and the stadium in which the main games took place, which is kind of cool. You know, this stadium was constructed specifically for this Olympics, so that's, you know, kind of neat that they would have something specifically for this Olympics on the emblem. I still don't think this is a particularly great emblem. I mean, I think it's better than pretty much anything that came before because we've actually got some pizzazz with some color here. I like the blues on white. You know, that's kind of a nice contrast with one another, but I think 1952 on the emblem itself is kind of weird, and without it, then the emblem is oddly empty and tall. It's still not great. It's trending in the right direction, but I'm still not like crazy about it. I think I will put it in the B tier just because it's certainly superior to everything that came before, but definitely a lot of room for improvement as well. Melbourne 1956. All right, this is good. This is actually not a bad emblem. It's classical, you know, it feels older and mature, but it doesn't feel like overly detailed or complex, like unnecessarily so, like a lot of the early designs were. I think this is actually kind of striking the right balance of detail yet classical style. Green is a really cool color, you know, not something you super frequently see associated with the Olympics. And, you know, we got some nicer details with the laurels coming up the sides of the emblem. We got some, you know, 16th Olympiad and then Melbourne 1956. We got those oddly wide splayed rings and then the Olympic torch, which is coming out of where I believe Melbourne would be on the Australian map down below. I think of the pre-60s logos, this is definitely my favorite. Still not like the best we're gonna see today, but it's certainly, you know, it's on its way up there. Actually, you know what? I will bump it up to A tier. You know, I think this is actually a really solid emblem. I kind of like Melbourne 1956. Rome 1960. It's, F tier. Tokyo 1964. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached what is probably my favorite Olympic emblem. Oh God, this is mwah, beautiful. Chef's kiss. You got the red rising sun and then just gold, red, white, gold. That's all you need. That's all you need. We got this lovely modern, you know, sans serif font. We got this very cool little interpretation of the rings where they're a lot closer together than they are normally on the Olympic emblem. We've also got this version where there's a slight gradient on the sun and the text, and oh my God, I think this is even cooler. Just that little splash of detail that I feel like really helps. It helps like contribute to this radiance of the sun, the glowing sun, the glowing rings, the glowing gold. It's just, I don't think anything's gonna top this. I mean, I think things will get close. I think we still got some very strong emblems up here, but you know, spoiler alert, this is hands down my favorite emblem. Mexico City, 1968. Okay, well, when I said we were gonna get very close to topping it, almost immediately is kind of a crazy turnaround. Mexico 68 has some of the most insane branding for any Olympic Games. Like it kicks so much ass, it's actually nuts. I get that the emblem is just text, but it's some of the most insanely cool text that I've ever seen. Like it's so wild and psychedelic, yet it looks so cool and clean and sleek and modern, even though it's almost 50 years old. 60 years old. What? The way the rings just fit so perfectly within 68. That's so nice. That's such a fun little detail. There's also an expanded version of the logo, and this is just absolutely nuts. Holy crap. I love Mexico 68. This is such cool branding, such peak branding. It's just, this is peak 60s design. This is absolutely awesome. Love it. Another easy S tier. Munich 1972. Right, so we've got it's another logo. It's another, certainly a design. So supposedly it represents kind of a ray of light coming out, you know, representing, you know, the spirit of the games. I mean, the spiral pattern is kind of weird. It's kind of cool, little trippy, you know, feels very 60s, 70s, you know, that sort of thing. But I don't know, to have this chosen over a competition of 2,332 entries, all of which are somehow unsatisfactory. Surely one of those entries, surely one of those is better than this. This doesn't have mind-bending design like 1968. It doesn't have a beautiful depiction and symbolism for where the games are taking place like in 1964. It's just a kind of weird ray of light with a spiral shatter effect on it. I'm not particularly happy with it. I think I'm gonna go C tier. Pretty mid stuff. Montreal 1976. So we've got the typical Olympic rings kind of compressed together, and then we've got these red arches over them, which form the letter M. For Montreal. They also kind of form a maple leaf, so in a way it's kind of reminiscent of the Canadian flag, so that's kind of cool, that's kind of neat. I don't know about all of this nonsense up here that the Olympic Committee is trying to claim this symbol represents, but it's pretty clean and modern, you know, not mind-shattering stuff or anything like that, but it's a pretty cool emblem. I like it. Yeah, A tier. Moscow 1980. Ooh, this is kind of cool. I actually really like this emblem. So we got red and white, which is very, you know, exactly what I would expect for the Soviet Union, but even just the design itself, we've got these various lines coming together, which can kind of symbolize the various athletes from all over the world coming together. That kind of forms this running track design, and that kind of reaches for the star up top. I don't know, the way just the colors like form the track motif, the star up top, it feels very like Soviet Union, but it also feels like there's definitely a lot of like symbolism packed into here. And it just as an emblem, it works really well. This is very simple, very easy to draw, but then there's a ton of like little details, little symbolism packed in there, lots of little meaning. And I think that's cool. I think that's really, really sick. I think between Misha and this emblem, Soviet Olympics actually had some pretty awesome branding. Let's be honest. So this is easily one of my favorite designs. I'm going S tier. This is outstanding. This is a really, really nice design. Los Angeles 1984. There she is. There's my America, my patriotism, my country 'tis of thee looking ass emblem. Holy crap, there's a lot here. The star is a universal symbol of the highest aspirations of mankind. The horizontal bars portray the speed with which the contestants pursue the excellence. The symbol colors blue, white, and red were in part chosen for their traditional significance and the awarding of prizes for first, second, and third place. No, they weren't. No, they were. It's stars and stripes. It's red, white, and blue. It's chosen because it was America. Yeah, this is probably the most aggressively American emblem we're gonna see today. I mean, not that I think it looks like bad, but like, whew. The only one I can maybe see is like the stripes indicating speed, because it does look kind of like the stars are flying by, but like, come on, it's stars and stripes, it's red, white, and blue. This was not chosen for any other reason other than this is America and it's Cold War Reaganomics. We are the superior country. I don't, however, think this is the superior emblem. This is, they win yet another round, America. I'm sorry. This is just not as good. Seoul 1988. So we've got this logo based on a traditional Korean pattern, which is called this, and I'm probably going to butcher it, but I'll give it a shot anyways. The Samtaeguk. Nailed it. But yeah, a traditional Korean pattern that kind of denotes the unity of mankind with the earth and the heavens, which is pretty cool. And I kind of like how the way it's drawn, it kind of symbolizes this also coming together of, I guess, the world's athletes into this one event. Very traditional Korean, but it makes for a good emblem, makes for kind of a good symbol of the games. pretty banger emblem if we're being honest, so I'm feeling another S tier. Barcelona 1992. Very aggressively 90s, I guess, between the colors used and like the way it's got this kind of drop shadow. Although that does kind of help accentuate how it's, I don't know, he's kind of leaping over the Olympic rings and the Barcelona 92 text down here, which that is definitely Times New Roman. Bit of an odd choice to contrast that with this kind of brushstroke looking emblem here, but whatever. I don't know, it just doesn't feel like a very good logo. I don't like the strong contrast between the text here and the emblem here. That's really kind of sticks out. I just don't think the emblem itself is all that particularly good. It's kind of, it's a man leaping and it looks like brush strokes, but it's not particularly like characteristic of Spain or anything like that, in my opinion. So I think because of that, I'm dropping that one down into C tier. Not a huge fan. Atlanta 1996. So first of all, this is the first American Olympic emblem that hasn't felt the need to shove stars and stripes, red, white, and blue into my eye sockets. So massive props for that. I really like a lot of the smaller details on here, the way the 100 and the Olympic rings kind of make up this torch or column, and then the way the Olympic flame kind of slowly fades into stars, and they kind of form the singular gold star at the top that all athletes strive for. Again, one of the better takes on like kind of reaching for the star or all going for the singular gold star at the top. Really like this. There are a few things that stick out to me. First of all, very colorful. Also, mostly kind of more drab colors used, or slightly drab colors. Also, something about the font down here also kind of sticks out to me as being like very aggressively like 90s serif font, in contrast to like the sans serif 100 text here, or the kind of very modern clean lines of the rest of the emblem. Despite that though, there's something about this emblem that just speaks to me, and I'm not entirely sure what it is. It feels very unique and kind of refined for an American Olympics, I would say. So honestly, I'm putting it in A tier. Very strong emblem. I like it a lot. Sydney 2000. Definitely a far superior take on the kind of style that Barcelona was going for back in 92. And this is more or less the template for the Olympic emblem as of now. Kind of a colorful emblem up top, and then a font that matches its art style down below. And then underneath all of that, we got the Olympic rings. It's pretty cut and dry. I actually rather like Sydney's Millennium Man, as I believe he was called. He's made up of boomerangs, which feels a little on the nose, but I like the colors used. The red represents the red of Australian soil, with the yellow kind of representing the Australian sun, and then the trail of smoke from the torch that he is, I guess, supposed to be carrying kind of resembles the Sydney Opera House, which again is reflected within the pattern on his legs. So that's really neat. Again, the font feels very appropriate down here, definitely matches the vibe of the emblem. Art style is cool. The inclusion of like the Sydney Opera House, Sydney's most iconic landmark, that's really cool as well. I actually really like Sydney's emblem, so I'm feeling yet another S tier for this one. Athens 2004. Colors obviously are right on. I mean, the blue and white, very iconic, very instantly recognizable as Greek. And then we got the olive wreath, which is in concept a very cool idea for an emblem, very traditional Olympics, I guess, imagery going on there. Nothing wrong with this logo, I think, in concept. I don't really care for the execution. I have never seen a more MS Paint looking emblem in my entire life. Like, this is, I don't like how, I don't know, childish this looks. It's like someone had like literally 10 seconds to draw this in MS Paint, like I said, and then, yep, there's your Olympic emblem. Also, the way this feels like very handcrafted between the painted looking background, the hand-drawn looking Olympic wreath, and then the very oddly clean text below it, which also feels rather rather sanitary in my opinion. I don't know, man. I'm not feeling Athens 2004. I like it a bit better than some of the ones down here, so I will bump it up to the B tier, but it's definitely a step below some of the stuff we've been seeing. Beijing 2008. We have got yet another major contender for what is possibly my favorite Olympic emblem. We've got the Chinese character Jing representing the host city of Beijing, kind of stylized to look like a running man and on a red background, which feels very traditional Chinese. Also stylized to look like it was made out of calligraphy brush strokes, which perfectly matches the awesome font that they used for the Beijing 2008 text down here. Banger emblem, banger text, tons of awesome Chinese little symbolism and details packed in here and there. Truly outstanding emblem in my opinion. This is absolutely fantastic. Easily yet another S tier entry. Probably towards the top of S tier if I had to rank them. London 2012. It's the year. It's literally just the year. It's a 2012. That's it. There's nothing else to it. Despite the very bright colors and edgy, angular, geometric feel of it all, it just feels very, very bland. There is absolutely nothing about this that says London outside of the text, which literally reads London. Even the Olympic Committee couldn't think of anything to put up here describing this emblem because there is nothing here. It's no symbolism, no significance. It's just a mass of color and shapes. Strongly dislike this logo. No symbols, no significance to London whatsoever. It is going in F. Rio 2016. So we've got yet another emblem following the pretty traditional formula of logo, text, Olympic rings. And I do think this is cool. I think this is kind of clean. I like the colors used, green and yellow, very, traditional Brazil, instantly recognizable as Brazilian colors, as well as the blue also there in the Brazilian flag. And I guess kind of reminds me personally of the sea, I guess, with Rio being right there on the ocean. We've got the figures kind of holding hands and kind of symbolizing this coming together between the world and also the Brazilians for, this event. Also really like the script font that they have for the Rio 2016 text down here. It feels very clean and very modern, but also fun and appropriate for the logo that they have. I did feel like the logo was a little abstract when I first saw it back in 2016. I couldn't really make out what it was at first. I just thought it was kind of a couple of balls stacked on one another, but I still do really like this emblem. It's fun, it's playful, it's got the bright colors, and I think, symbolism is definitely there, so I will give it the pass up into A tier. Tokyo 2020. So the 2020 emblems feature this traditional Japanese Ichimatsu Moyo checkered pattern. And yes, you don't have to tell me in the comments below. I know I'm absolutely nailing these pronunciations. The emblem also has a circular design followed by the text and then the Olympic rings, which is very similar to the layout of the 1964 emblem. So I wonder if, that was intended or just a coincidence. I think the pattern is really cool, traditional Japanese, and I like the way it kind of forms like a lotus flower in the center, which also feels very traditional Japanese. I like this logo. I think, it's got the detail, the traditional like Japanese symbolism baked in there, but I think it's also just a cool pattern. It's a cool design, and I like it a lot. It feels very modern and refined. Very, very solid emblem. I'm also putting this one in the A tier. Paris 2024. So this year's Olympic emblem is kind of cool. It's very sleek, very modern. Love the text that they used for Paris 2024. Feels very unique, tons of character there. And then the emblem itself, just absolute heater. We've got the gold medal that, all athletes are striving for with the Olympic flame cut out using the negative space. And then within the flame, we've got the lips here, and that, I guess, symbolizes Marianne, the kind of personification of France, which honestly, really, really cool. I like the way that was done, that was executed. It's just a very nice emblem. I love the execution, the way this was done, and then the text, like I said, just it feels like a altogether it feels like an emblem with, you know, tons of little personality, little references to France here and there. I think for me, it's right on the edge between S and A. So I'll go ahead and give it S. You know, I'm feeling very positive today. Lots of banger emblems for the Olympic emblems tier list. And then finally, we've got LA 2028. So Los Angeles 28 is unique in that it doesn't have an Olympic emblem. It actually has dozens of Olympic emblems. The template for the LA 28 logo is the static L28, and then the A can be replaced with numerous different stylized options, which is cool, and I guess is representing, you know, the diversity of LA, the diversity of the contestants, and is like, you know, wanting to be inclusive of, you know, all these various groups that are here in LA. That's cool, but it means all of the emblems here kind of feel like placeholder emblems. It's kind of a similar problem that I had with 2012, where like aside from the text literally saying LA, there's nothing about any of these variations that necessarily says LA to me. I don't know. It's like, on one hand, I think it's really cool that this emblem can be customized by, you know, various artists, and that everyone is welcome to make their own interpretation of this logo. On the other hand, when major corporations are able to create their versions of your logo and it fit in really well with the quote-unquote official versions, I feel like a line has been crossed there. Honestly, I don't know what to make of this logo. I think some of the variations are kind of cool, but a lot of them I just don't get, so I'm going middle of the road. I'm putting it in the C tier. So that's it. That's the tier list. Obviously, I think it turned out pretty well. Of course, you are more than welcome to let me know in the comments how much of an absolute idiot I am. Let me know what you would have placed, where you would move things up and down, whether or not LA 28's logo is actually good or bad. And yeah, if you guys liked this video, I'll be more than happy to make one for the Paralympics or even the Winter Olympic Games. There's definitely some pretty cool emblems in there as well. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, greatly appreciate it, and in conclusion, Rome, what the hell is this?